it's once in a lifetime opportunity. So there is no way how you can extend it. This is the part where some applicants get caught. They think like any academic program would be fine. No, that's not true. So please don't wait and apply like on 182nd day. Like the application will be refused. IRCC officers are now very strict. Most likely they will not wait until you send the results. They are more quick to say no, you are refused. It was easy and I would say quick. As of January 2025, the new eligibility criteria was implemented. Hello everyone, hope you're doing great today. My name is Ekaterina Andoni and I'm an immigration consultant working at Evernorth Canada Immigration Solutions. If you're familiar with our video, we usually discuss important topics and some relevant tips and tricks that might be helpful for you if you are currently in Canada planning your immigration journey, or if you are overseas and only dreaming about moving to Canada. Today we're gonna discuss the topic of postgrad open work permit, which is a very useful, in my opinion, topic, and might be very interesting for current students who are about to graduate and don't know what changed, because over the course of the last 2 years a lot of things changed around the eligibility requirement, the application process, and so on. So if it sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, stay with us. In the video we're gonna have the timestamps organized in the way that it's going to be easy for you to navigate. At any point, if any of the subject is not really relevant to you, you can just skip and move to another topic. So it's going to be easier for you to travel throughout the video with us. So we're going to discuss a few moments with you. First of all, what the postgrad work permit is, exactly like why you need one, what it is in general. Next, we're going to move to who is eligible to apply and what you know before you're about to apply, for how long the work permit can be valid, because there are different options. It's important for you as well to plan ahead, and in general, like what changed, like how the process is different from how it used to be. So if you started your studies, let's say a few years ago, maybe your plan was different, and right now you need some adjustments just to be relevant and make sure you apply on time and within the correct time frames. And the requirements on the documents, right? So you make sure you have everything. And lastly, we're going to cover the important topic regarding what to do if you came to Canada as a student with a spouse and you would like your spouse to continue staying with you throughout the process of getting the postgrad work permit. So if it's relevant to you, stay with us. So we're going to start with the basic, what the postgrad work permit actually is. So technically, if you finished your graduate studies in Canada and you have your diploma, you have your academic transcript, you fulfilled all of the program requirements to graduate, you are eligible to apply and get the work permit that will allow you to work for any employer in Canada. So you don't need to have a job offer to apply. You don't need to have an employer who's interested in hiring you, to be able to get this work authorization. Canada gives it for everyone who graduate, in broad terms for sure, right? For everyone who graduate, who meet the requirements and who finished their higher education in Canada. So it's not the high school graduates, it's only if you finished a college degree, college diploma, if you graduate from university, bachelor, master's, PhD. So all of these like post-secondary students, of course, who qualify, and we're gonna let you know exactly who qualifies a bit later on. But generally speaking, if you finished your higher studies here in Canada, you should be able to get the open work permit. Canada gives it to you, so you as a fresh graduate can have some time and work in Canada, get your academic skills applied to a real job setting, and help, of course, with the economy. So it's both beneficial for you as the applicant to enter the workforce and legally work, basically apply what you studied in college and get your hands-on experience. Plus it helps the Canadian economy as a whole, getting these young people who are willing to work to actually start their work journey in Canada. So it's very important. The second thing that not everyone knows is it's once in a lifetime opportunity for you to have this postgrad work permit. So there is no way how you can extend it if you want to stay longer. Even even if you go back to school again, right? So imagine the scenario that you graduated, you applied for the work permit, you got your postgrad work permit successfully. It's coming to an end. You want to enroll in studies back just to have just to repeat the cycle. It's not how it works. You can be awarded a second study permit, no problems here, but you will not be eligible for a postgrad work permit any longer. So you need to choose wisely whether to apply, like how to apply. In some cases, if you plan to go back to school, maybe it's relevant to finish 2 degrees at the same time, right? To finish one program, enroll at another program at this after graduation, and only then strategically apply for the postgrad work permit. So in broad terms, it's once in a lifetime opportunity to get this permit, and it allows you to work for any employer in Canada. It's not employer restricted. It allows you to travel freely across Canada as well. So you could have graduated, let's say, in Ontario, then you decide to move to Nova Scotia, and the work permit would allow you to work for any employer in any province. So this is a huge bonus as well. Now we're going to cover the core eligibility criteria. So for you to be in general eligible for the postgrad work permit, first of all, you need to have graduated from a designated learning institution, and you need to be enrolled as a full-time student all the way during your studies. The only time when it's okay for you to be a part-time student, only during your last semester of studies, meaning that the program just simply was designed in a way that you cover and complete most of the courses during the first semesters. So during the last one, you might not have enough courses to be considered as a full-time student, but it's not your fault. It's just the design of the program. So IRCC is fully okay with that, only if you were part-time during the last semester. All of the other semesters, they want you to be enrolled as a full-time student and fully graduate. So the designated learning institution is a must. Also, your institution needs to have the postgrad work permit eligible program. So you need to check first whether your program that you are doing currently is eligible for postgrad work permit afterwards. This is the part where some applicants get caught. They think like any academic program would be fine. No, that's not true. So you need to make sure your DLI has your specific program that's eligible for the postgrad work permit. Next, you need to have your final grades released, and you have to have the official completion letter. Even if you passed your exams, let's say today, you are not able to apply tomorrow before your exams are fully checked and before you get your official completion letter from the college or university, because the professors might take a few weeks to finish grading papers. The office register might take some time to process all of the data and confirm that you successfully met all of the requirements. So don't rush. Wait until your institution confirms that to you in writing with an official completion letter. Usually it comes by the email that you successfully passed all the requirements, and you can use this letter as your base to submit the work permit application. So don't rush it. Wait until the institution confirms. On the other hand, don't wait for too long, because some people might think like, oh, I need to have the actual diploma, like I need to attend the convocation. And in Canada, from the time when you officially finish the program and the institution confirms it to you by sending out the official transcripts, grades, and completion letter, to the time when you actually attend the convocation, it might take 4 months, 3 months, depends, absolutely, even half a year in some cases. So please don't wait to get your official diploma. So the completion letter and your final grades are more than enough to apply. In terms of the time frame, you need to make sure you submit the postgrad work permit application during 180 days from the time when you get your official completion letter. Please don't wait and apply like on 182nd day, like the application will be refused. Also, you need to make sure that your study permit is still valid at the time when you apply for your postgrad work permit. That's crucial as well. Don't solely rely on 180 days. that IRCC basically gives you to apply, because if your study permit expires sooner, in some cases, maybe you started the program later and you finish later consecutively, right? So you won't have much time left on the study permit. You might think, oh, I can apply anytime. No, you need to make sure you cover both the validity of the current study permit plus within 180 days. Since every case is different, every study permit is different, you need to look at your documents and make sure you have time to actually submit your application, because it's very important. Now we're going to move on to the changes. If you've been around for quite a while in Canada, maybe you've noticed that since 2024, some criteria have been added, and there were some changes throughout the entire time, who can apply, right, and what documents you need to have at the time when you apply. So since November 2024, you need to have your valid test results, English or French, at the time like when you submit the application, and you need to meet a certain level of language knowledge to be eligible. So practically speaking, at the moment when you have your grades released and you become eligible to apply, you now need to have your IELTS, CELPIP or TEF, TCF test ready with your full results. If you graduated from university, from a bachelor degree, master's degree, PhD, you need to have at least CLB 7 in each band of the test of your English or French test to be eligible to have an approved postgrad work permit. So it doesn't really matter if you submitted to be enrolled, for example, in this institution previously at the time of submission of your study permit. If the IRCC or your university already accepted your results and confirmed your knowledge of English or French to enroll you basically as a student, you cannot use this argument to say like, dear officer, I fully know the language, I am proficient since I was accepted and I've graduated, I studied successfully, so it means like I meet the language requirement. You cannot use this as an argument. You need to provide a fresh test confirmation, right, confirming that you meet the requirement. So any higher degree, meaning bachelor, master and PhD, you need CLB 7 in each band, not overall. So it's independently CLB 7 in listening, reading, writing and speaking. If you score higher, even better, but to meet the minimum threshold, you need to have CLB 7. If you graduated, let's say from a college, and it's not a bachelor degree, it's just a regular college diploma, advanced diploma, right? You need CLB 5 in each band of the test to qualify. So depending on the level of studies, IRCC expects you to meet certain language level at the time when you apply. So you cannot say like, I will book my test and will send the result like in 2 months after you apply. No, the officer would be expecting you to have everything ready in your application package the day you submit. Don't promise to do anything to them. IRCC officers are now very strict. Most likely they will not wait until you send the results. They are more quick to say, no, you are refused and your application is refused because you did not meet the requirement from the very beginning. So it's very important. And just a practical tip, even if you're fluent in English, you're very confident, I recommend that you book your test before your final marks are released, just to make sure you have enough time in case your first attempt is not very successful, right? So by the time you need to apply, I want you to have your test results already confirmed and the level that's needed achieved. Yeah, one more important thing to cover, please don't submit your Duolingo results. It's not gonna work. You need official tests like IELTS, CELPIP, TEF, TCF. So make sure you have an approved test ready. Now, jokes aside, moving to the next criteria. If you submitted your study permit application after November 2024, your postgrad work permit will be assessed based on the current criteria, which means that if you studied at a college level, like post-secondary education, meaning like a degree, advanced degree, diploma, at the college, so everything that's below bachelor. In this case, to be eligible for the postgrad work permit, your field of study needed to be within the list of approved ones. And as of now, we have more than 1,000, codes approved as the field of study within the STEM, within healthcare, within education. So there are a lot of options. So you need to make sure if that's the case for you, if you applied for the study permit in 2024 after these changes were implemented, that your field of study is still within the list of eligible ones, because during that year there was a few changes. So when you started, that field of study might have been approved within the list. Now it might be removed. So I encourage you to be extra careful and just double check that you're still eligible before you apply, to avoid any risks and confusion from the officer side. Now, since we determined, let's say you checked all of the boxes so far and you make sure that you are eligible, you have your test results, you have everything ready, it's time to check your passport and make sure it's valid for as long as possible, because next we're gonna discuss for how long you can expect your work permit to be valid, right? And at the time when the IRCC issues the work permit for you, let's say you are eligible for 3-year work permit. If your passport expires in a year or a year and a half, they cannot give you the work permit past the validity of your passport. So it's better for you to get the new passport, to apply in advance to renew your passport and have it ready with the maximum validity before you submit your application, so you have your new passport on file, and the officer would grant you the work permit to the maximum length. It would eliminate a lot of problems for you later, like you won't need to be extra careful to know exactly when to extend the password. So take your time and check everything in advance. In terms of for how long the work permit can be valid, going back to the initial topic, it really depends on how long you studied in Canada. So if you studied for at least 8 months, you can qualify to get from 8 months to a year of the work permit. Usually, even if you studied 8 months, like in 98% of the time, the IRCC grants you the work permit for 1 year. If your program of study was at least 2 years, you can expect the IRCC to approve your work permit for 3 years. So it's strategically, I would say, right. If you consider, in planning ahead your immigration journey, I recommend that you choose wisely the study program so you can get the maximum validity of the work permit. So it's a huge difference between 1 year work permit and 3-year work permit duration. You have more flexibility, more time. So in this case, I recommend, if you're just starting the journey, to look at the 2-year programs at least. As for bachelor and master's and PhD graduates, even though, for example, for some master's program, it's less than 2-year duration, it can be a year and a half, the work permit would be valid for 3 years afterwards. IRCC does it in recognition of your level of studies, and it's usually harder to achieve and get a master's or PhD. So in this case, even though you studied less, they think of you as you've studied harder and it was more challenging, so they award you a 3-year work permit to fully implement your knowledge and have enough time to get your work experience in Canada. So in this case, you can benefit from the maximum validity of the work permit. Now it's time for a practical tip. If your initial program was not at least 2 years, it was only 1 year, but you enrolled to the second program right after the graduation, so you have uninterruptedly studied for at least 2 years, this rule would apply to you as well. So IRCC would see your education in total as at least 2 years in Canada, so you can expect a 3-year work permit afterwards. It can be especially beneficial for students who only are finishing their first program, like 1-year program. In my opinion, it's very beneficial for you to enroll into the second one, because it would give you the more validity of the work permit. So if you're in this situation, just think ahead. I believe it's worth investing. Now moving on to the candidates who arrived not alone but arrived with their spouses, and want their spouses to still continue residing with them, or also families, for example, that student came alone at first and now you as a former student want your spouse to join and also have a work permit and stay with you in Canada. So previously, everyone who has the postgrad work permit and are employed in were employed in a skilled occupation could bring the spouse. It was easy and I would say quick. As of January 2025, the new eligibility criteria was implemented that affects the postgrad work permit holders as well. So right now, for you to have your spouse joining you on a work permit, you need to have employment and to be actively employed in an eligible occupation. So any managerial position would work. I mean, any NOC code within the tier 0 and 1 would qualify. For example, if you are a director or a vice president in a company, or basically any managerial position, usually it's top management, as you know, the tier 0 and 1, you understand practically like which NOC codes are associated and which titles are associated with these tiers. So if you're lucky enough to get the employment as one of the top managers, that's awesome. It means that you're fully covered. Your spouse can join you and also apply for the work permit. In this case, it would be an open work permit for your spouse as well, but in order for the spouse to be eligible, you need to, actively start working for that employer. So your intention to be employed in this occupation does not count. Your explanation that you're actively looking and you're attending interviews and in a few weeks you're gonna get the employment, also this will not help and the officer will not consider it. You need to have the job offer, you need to have the employment confirmation letter from the company stating that you have already started, and ideally you need to have at least a few pay stubs to show that you've been actively working for that employer in order for your spouse to apply and to qualify for an open work permit. So with the top management position, we are fully covered here. If you are employed in a selected occupation within the tier 2 and 3, you can also sponsor your spouse and basically have your spouse accompany you. The list is not that huge, unfortunately, the list of eligible NOC codes, but still there are a few strategic occupations, so you might be able to apply for the spouse as well. IRCC published the full list, so you need to make sure your NOC code and the title corresponds to that list. It should not be something similar or almost that NOC code. It's very strict, like you need to be working in that specific NOC code for your spouse to qualify. In case something happens and you are not succeeding in getting the employment in these strategic sectors, it's not a huge problem as well, but you still, if you want your spouse to join, they can, but they can join on a visitor record, so you can have them with you, but as visitors. And in this case, you apply the same way, but not for the work permit extension, but to change their status from worker to visitor, explaining that you have your postgrad work permit and you just want to be united with your family member. So it doesn't fully mean that you need to be alone here in Canada, and doesn't mean that your spouse has to go back home. Of course, they can if they wish. It's not prohibited as well, but at least there is an option for you to stay united as a family with the spouse being on a visitor record. Now, since we covered most of the things, you should feel a bit more prepared for your postgrad work permit application. If something remained unclear or you would want us to answer the question, please leave your questions in the comments below, and we would address them, we would reply. If there will be a lot of questions, we might make like a separate video addressing all of your concerns and diving deeper into the explanations if needed. Subscribe if you like this type of content regarding Canadian immigration, tips and tricks, different hot topics and not so hot topics, but also very important, because in immigration, like once you submit something to the IRCC, it stays there forever. So please make sure you read the guides, you make sure you have all of the documents ready before you submit, because it's easier to correct the mistake while it's on your desktop or on paper before you submit it. It's very hard to correct something that's already been in review with the IRCC and stored in their database. Subscribe if you want to hear more tips, and see you next week.